Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. In a world braced for conflict, the unthinkable has happened. The geopolitical landscape has shifted dramatically, catching many by surprise. Today, September 15, 2025, Taiwan has formally accepted a groundbreaking proposal from mainland China. This unprecedented move has sent shockwaves through the international community. This is not a surrender, but a bold step toward de-escalation, centered on a joint educational and cultural foundation. The initiative aims to bridge decades of mistrust and hostility. For decades, the Taiwan Strait has been the world's most dangerous flashpoint, a narrow stretch of water fraught with military posturing and political tension, where superpower ambitions and democratic aspirations collide. The strait has been a symbol of the broader struggle between authoritarianism and democracy. Now a sudden pivot away from war raises profound questions for us all. Can this new approach truly lead to lasting peace, or is it merely a temporary respite? The fate of Taiwan is tied to the global order. Its stability is crucial for international peace and security. A conflict here would trigger economic catastrophe and likely draw in the United States and its allies. The stakes could not be higher. The announcement from Taipei offers a potential off-ramp from disaster, a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak scenario, shifting the narrative from inevitable conflict to improbable cooperation. This shift could redefine the future of cross-strait relations. The world is watching. Is this the start of genuine peace or just a strategic pause? The international community remains on edge. Initial reactions are a mix of cautious optimism and deep skepticism, reflecting the complex emotions surrounding this development, challenging the assumptions that have guided foreign policy for a generation. Experts are divided on the long-term implications. Is this a true change of heart from Beijing, a clever Trojan horse, or a strategic maneuver to buy time, or a desperate move by a gridlocked Taiwanese government? The political landscape in Taiwan is fraught with its own challenges. The proposal, focused on scholarships and cultural exchange, aims to build a foundation of mutual understanding and respect. Seems idealistic against a backdrop of military tension, but that's what makes it so compelling. The contrast is stark and thought-provoking. As we stand at this crossroads, the choices we make now will shape the future for generations to come. We must ask, can cultural exchange truly pacify one of the world's most militarized disputes? The answer remains uncertain, but the hope is palpable. To understand today's news, we must revisit the history that has kept China and Taiwan apart for over 75 years. The division began in 1949, when the defeated nationalists retreated to Taiwan, creating two rival governments. The world was forced to choose sides, but by the 1970s, the US recognized Beijing, while still promising to help Taiwan defend itself. This led to strategic ambiguity. The US acknowledges one China, but keeps its military intentions vague. Meanwhile, Taiwan transformed into a vibrant democracy and a tech powerhouse, building the Silicon Shield with its world-leading semiconductor industry. This economic leverage made Taiwan's security a global concern. But under Xi Jinping, Beijing has ramped up pressure, military intimidation, diplomatic isolation, and economic coercion. Against this backdrop of escalating tension, today's development forces a re-evaluation of everything we thought we knew about this conflict. The catalyst for this diplomatic breakthrough wasn't in the Taiwan Strait, as many had expected, nor did it come from the usual flashpoints that dominate headlines. Instead, it emerged at Scarborough Shoal in the South China Sea, a remote, contested reef that suddenly became the center of global attention. On September 9, 2025, China declared the area a nature reserve, a move that infuriated both Taiwan and the Philippines, who saw it as a blatant assertion of control. Tensions soared after a summer marked by naval collisions, close encounters, and aggressive military maneuvers. China's newest aircraft carrier made a high-profile passage through the Taiwan Strait, sending a clear message to its neighbors and the world. Amid this volatile backdrop, Beijing quietly floated a proposal for trilateral cultural and academic exchanges, blending military pressure with a surprising diplomatic overture. For Taiwan, the Scarborough Shoal incident was a sobering wake-up call. It revealed just how far Beijing was willing to go to assert its claims, and highlighted the limits of Taiwan's ability to stand alone in the face of mounting pressure. The crisis exposed the ever-present risk that regional disputes could spiral into something far more dangerous, threatening the fragile peace in Asia. Suddenly, what once seemed like an idealistic education proposal began to look like a pragmatic, even necessary alternative to a dangerous and escalating status quo. The diplomatic gambit over a distant, seemingly insignificant reef unexpectedly cracked open the door to dialogue and negotiation. Taiwan now faced a stark and urgent choice, whether to risk confrontation and isolation, or to seize the opportunity for cooperation and engagement. The timing of Beijing's proposal forced all sides to pause and reconsider their next move, knowing that the balance of power in the region could shift overnight. Sometimes it's the smallest islands, barely visible on a map, that end up shifting the course of history for an entire region. What's in this proposal that broke the deadlock? At its core, it's a trilateral peace and education foundation, jointly funded by China, Taiwan, and the US. The mission moved the cross-strait narrative from military confrontation to mutual understanding. 3 pillars define it: a massive scholarship program for academic exchange, joint research on global issues like climate change and AI, and youth forums and cultural festivals. The idea is simple: build personal connections to erode mistrust. By focusing on shared interests, the initiative aims to create a positive feedback loop of trust and cooperation. The upcoming APEC summit in Taiwan will launch the foundation, turning a high-stakes meeting into a celebration of this new spirit. It's a bold experiment. Can human connection succeed where hard power has failed? President William Lai's decision to accept the proposal can't be separated from Taiwan's internal crisis. For months, a hostile, opposition-controlled legislature has paralyzed the government, blocking judicial nominees and slashing defense budgets. As China increased its pressure, Taiwan's own divisions left it vulnerable. With the courts and security agencies hamstrung, Lai faced an impossible choice: watch Taiwan's defenses erode, or try something new. The Chinese proposal offered a way to bypass gridlock and reframe the national conversation. It's a high-risk gamble, visionary or naive, but perhaps the only card left to play. The economic stakes are as high as the political ones. Taiwan's Silicon Shield, its dominance in semiconductors, has long deterred conflict, making the island indispensable to the global economy. A reduction in tension could boost investment and slow the costly process of supply chain diversification. But peace brings new risks. China's campaign of industrial espionage and talent poaching threatens to erode Taiwan's technological edge. Increased exchange could lower barriers to intellectual property theft, weakening the very shield that protects Taiwan. If China catches up technologically, Taiwan's leverage vanishes. The challenge: embrace economic opportunity while fiercely protecting the nation's crown jewels. The future of Taiwan's security may depend on how well it walks this tightrope. The news from Taipei has hit Washington like a political earthquake. For years, U.S. policy relied on strategic ambiguity and military deterrence. Now, a sudden shift toward diplomacy and cultural engagement has upended the status quo. Publicly, officials welcome dialogue, but behind the scenes, debate rages. Pragmatists see a chance for peace and a role for the U.S. as facilitator. Hawks fear a sophisticated Chinese trap, warning that Taiwan's internal weakness could be exploited. Allies like Japan and the Philippines worry about the reliability of American commitments. The U.S. must now reassure partners and recalibrate its regional strategy. The stakes: not just Taiwan's future but the credibility of America's alliances. Washington faces a diplomatic challenge of the highest order. As policymakers scramble, experts dissect the risks and potential of this fragile new arrangement. Some see a chance to break the cycle of escalation, building social infrastructure for peace. Others warn that China may simply be buying time, using diplomacy to advance its long-term ambitions. The real test will be rigorous monitoring and constant vigilance to prevent the initiative from becoming a channel for propaganda or espionage. Internal dynamics matter too. Xi Jinping may be seeking to lower tensions for domestic reasons, while Taiwan's public may embrace peace too readily. The success of this venture depends on selling it as peace through strength, not capitulation. The path ahead is fraught with peril and opportunity. Today, the world witnesses the proposal of a fragile bridge across the Taiwan Strait, a stunning departure from the relentless march toward conflict that has defined recent years. This bridge is not made of steel or concrete, but of hope, dialogue, and the possibility of a new beginning between two sides long at odds. This pivotal moment was born from mounting military pressure, a bold diplomatic gambit, and a government cornered by crisis. The world has watched as tensions escalated, and now, unexpectedly, a window for peace has opened, however narrow and uncertain it may be. The proposal, offering scholarships, joint research and youth forums, seeks to change the very nature of the debate. By building human connections, it hopes to create a bulwark against confrontation, fostering understanding and trust where suspicion once reigned. Yet the path forward is a minefield. Questions loom about Taiwan's technological security, the depth of American resolve, and Beijing's true intentions. Every step must be measured, as the risks of miscalculation remain high. For Taiwan, this is a calculated bet on engagement, an attempt to open doors without surrendering autonomy or dignity, hoping to shape its own destiny. For China, it is both a test of peaceful intent and, perhaps, a new tactic for absorption, an opportunity to win hearts and minds, or to further its own ambitions by subtler means. For the United States, this moment is a challenge to adapt its foreign policy to a rapidly shifting reality, balancing support for Taiwan with the pursuit of regional stability. The future will not be written in this proposal alone, but in the actions, choices, and compromises that follow. The world will be watching every step, every handshake, every word. For now, the world has a brief reprieve from the specter of war. The question remains, what will we do with this uncertain gift of time? And how will we use it to shape the days ahead? The bridge is only designed. The hard work of building it, brick by brick, conversation by conversation, begins now.